Good evening. Hello, welcome. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to a brand new series of belt buckles and boots um, live stream. So, welcome. If you're watching this live over on YouTube, hello, welcome. If you're watching this back on YouTube, not live, hello, welcome. We'll do the obligatory check the stream is working. I'm going to assume it is. Purely because I guess someone will remind me if it's not. So they'll mention in the chat, but hello. Mark and Thomas, hello, welcome in. Like I said, we are doing a belt, buckles and boots live stream, so we're doing some infantry. If you didn't catch last stream, where we discussed about doing this infantry, go check out over on the playlist. So we've got the big Sunday ACW live stream playlist over there. So yeah, go check that out, where all the live streams are in. So if you've missed any or want to go check them out, we've done artillery, infantry, cavalry, and HQs, officers and whatnot. So we've done the whole, everything I can imagine of, with some bits in between. So yeah, so go check them out. So yeah, let's jump on a table. One. Right, we're here. I'm just trying to think what my normal spiel is when we start the stream, making sure I'm covering all the bases. I almost very much didn't go live, and I almost started talking without actually hitting the live button. So luckily we got there in time. Yeah, I will just triple check the stream's working. Yeah, we've got Mark, Thomas, David's in now as well. Hello, welcome. Yeah, we've got Mark, Thomas. Oh, there we go, it's working. So I've come up with a very imaginative name for the series as Warlord Games American Civil War Infantry Advancing. But I've now come up with what we're going to be painting today, which is Warlord Games American Civil War Infantry Advancing, but they are probably going to be a North Carolinian regiment. The reason behind that is I stumbled across a company this week called Rebellion Miniatures. I might have already got that wrong. Rebellion Miniatures. Now they've just started looking at releasing some stuff, American Civil War stuff, and one of them I noticed is they're doing a sculpt for the Colonel of the 26th North Carolina. For anyone who doesn't know, a lot of my stuff I'm focused around Gettysburg. I know it's been done in the past, but we're doing some Gettysburg stuff now. 26th North Carolina went toe to toe with Iron Brigade. So I thought, well, why don't we look at doing Pettigrew's brigade for Gettysburg, who were the ones that are fighting up against the Iron Brigade. So that's where this is coming in. So these are going to be the 11th North Carolina. And then I'm going to look at doing the 26th North Carolina, and then a couple more regiments in that brigade, the 47th and the 52nd, which I can piece together with some other stuff. So the fact that I've got the Iron Brigade in, it's there. I just need to paint it. So why not do their Confederate rivals? So yeah, that's where we're at. So currently the live stream is called Warlord Games Advanced Infantry. I'm going to change that to the 11th North Carolina Infantry. Right. So yeah, just some backstory into this regiment and what we're actually painting, because it's nice to do a little bit of flavour, and we can talk about that and whatnot. Right, so Thomas, meant to ask Matt, what is these like for the use as the Iron Brigade? What, these specific miniatures? I don't know, it's hard to say, purely because they are in frock coats. They are in frock coats. I've not cleaned these models up very well. They are in frock coats, and a lot of them wear hats, not cappies. So, but no, I don't know. I don't think I would use them for that, if I'm honest. Just my opinion. I wouldn't. I mean, you could do whatever you want, right? Like, I'm gonna. Who's the Is it the 25th Michigan? No. Oh, I can't remember now. Michigan Regiment in the Iron Brigade. Obviously, they didn't necessarily get their black hats straight away, so you could definitely use them for that. I don't know. Just my thoughts. David, just listen to Tim, the Napoleonic Wargamer. He's put out a poll and a plea for his next big project. Are we going to try get him onto the American Civil War? Is that what you're implying, David? 28 mil though, David. None of this 6 mil to 2 mil. Soraya, hello, welcome in. Hello, welcome. You're a little bit earlier than last time, but I appreciate it. Thank you. How's my weekend going? It's been very busy and productive, but enjoyable. I had a really productive day today. I hit a couple of car boots, which was always fun, and then doing some house prep because I have some housework done at the moment. As for yesterday, I went out with some mates just out in Bristol for a few an afternoon drinks, which was lovely. So yeah, no, it was nice weekend, and then back into work. And it's going to be a busy week. But how was your weekend? How did your stream go last night? I caught bits of it where I could. David, Gettysburg. Time to brush off my Coddington. It's been a year or so since I've read it. Coddington, what's that? Do elaborate. David's, yeah, so talking about the Iron Brigade. The Iron Brigade need hardy hats. Yeah. Again, the Michigan Regiment didn't have hardy hats straight away. I think it took a bit of time for them to get them. But yeah, I would argue if you're going to do the Iron Brigade, it'd be nice to do them in their full dress. Unless you want to be super accurate and you knew what uniform they wore at a certain battle, then you could do what you want. Thomas, also moving my second corps over to the Chancellorsville, Gettysburg timeline. Also, you mean the 24th Michigan. Their Lieutenant Colonel came from Ireland. Thank you. It's only because I was just talking about the 26th North Carolina. So all I could think in my head was 26th Michigan. And I knew it wasn't that. So, yeah. But thank you, Thomas. Sorry, I know. Thiro belled me as my YouTube notes are crap. Do you know what? I definitely put notifications on certain things on YouTube and just don't feel like I get them. Or like maybe you get it, but then you're on your phone or something, so you just don't look at it and then it disappears forever. So yeah, but yeah, Mark's a good notifier, so I can don't know, appreciate his. That is one of your strengths, Mark. Yes, it is. I went to Bristol in uni. Long time since I've been there. I hope you had a great time. Oh, obviously there's two Bristols in uni in Bristol's, but I won't quiz you in case if you don't want to be reminded of what I can only assume is a horrendous time at university. But no, I hope you enjoyed Bristol. Yeah, so we just went out on the harbour side, which was nice. It was just we went out at 12. But yeah, no, it was nice. Just chill, and then I got home and managed to. Do you know what? I can't even think what I did. Hello, Tim. Welcome in, Tim. Come on in. Welcome in. What did we do Saturday night? Oh yeah, so then yeah, I think we didn't get back in till 7 in the afternoon. That is not morning. I'm not a loony. Yeah, and then I watched The Martian, and then I sort of started watching The Martian earlier in the day. So I watched the end of The Martian, and then I watched the end of The War Machine, which is another film. So I basically just binge watched TV till about 10 and then went to sleep. It was lovely. You went to UE. Nice. Yeah, I just work up the road at the moment from UE. My missus went to UE as well. Maybe at the same time as you. Who knows? I used to love Thekla. Dare I upset people? I've never been to Thekla, so sorry. Sorry. Anyway, enough about Bristol. Enough about my hometown. Although, fire away, we can talk about as much as you want. I talk about Gettysburg enough. Talk about Bristol and occasionally. Anyway, let's get on to models, because we'll fall into the trap of socialising too much. Yeah, so Confederates. Confederates. So this is kind of fun because I can kind of pull out I just have a bit of fun with them, because obviously inconsistency in uniforms. Yes and no. Now, I've not looked into the 11th North Carolina. I'm not sure exactly what they should be wearing. I'm going to just do my normal spiel of odds and sods with my Confederates, and call them North Carolinians. So, David said, the Gettysburg Campaign, a study in command, is the textbook on the subject, despite being written in the 60s. Ooh. I imagine probably differing views to modern views of the war, I assume. The book's by Edwin B. Coddington. Okay. Nice. Well, enjoy it. Dig it out. Try it. Thecla was all the rage when I was there. Yeah, I spent a lot of my youth sort of King Street and Gloucester Road, a fair bit of. So, but yeah, I'm never in the clubbing, to be honest. It was probably the Fleece was as clubby as I went. Or I strayed into OMG a few times, but apart from that. Right, let's get on with it. So, I'm going to, just because I enjoy the paint so much, we're going to use Brownish Decay for some of the button up. We've got normal. I've just thought, because normally I used to use the grey primer as the grey base for the uniforms. Now I've done away with that because we've got white primer. So, but we've got Ashen Stone and Runic Grey, which will be maybe some choices of grey as well as my contrast grey from Basilicanum Grey. I'm going to just chuck it down and just see how I get on. So I do greys, butternuts, blue trousers. We'll see how we get on. One thing about the Irish Brigade at Gettysburg, my regiment are 24 men. The 63rd New York was only 30 men at Gettysburg. I see what you're saying. I know certain rule sets that you can use will kind of show depleted units, whether you have like 3 bases or up to 6 bases, or even some like large regiments who have 8 or 9 bases. I think if you go any less than 3 bases a unit, it's just almost pointless. But yeah, I get what you're saying. David, no, it's still used by Battlefield Guides to take you around the sites. Oh, yeah. I just wonder if there's more anti-Longstreet stuff in it. Is what I was getting at, because I know for a while he got a lot of flack, and it's only sort of in recent history that maybe he's redeemed of it slightly. Who knows? Thomas, nearly 1-to-1 scale. The 3rd New York Regiment, 63rd, 69th, and 88th numbered about 100 men in total. That's crazy, though, isn't it? 3 regiments fit into the space of a company. It's right. We're gonna start, because I'm actually excited about painting these. So these are, we haven't actually. I think I've spoken about the models slightly, but these are from Warlord Games. They're their advancing infantry ones. So these guys are in sort of frock coats with mixed hats. Now, Warlord Games sell their miniatures as sort of universal. You can use them for Confederates or Union, but they're clearly sculpted with certain size officers. So, if you look at this chap, for example, he's clearly got a braiding on his sleeves, which is a Confederate officer. So they're sort of listed as, you can do whatever you want with them, but they're clearly Confederates. So, and that's what I'm using them for. So I'm going to go with some blue trousers, some Union blue trousers. I like the look of the blue on the the grey. Feels good to finally get some paint on these guys as well. They've been sat around for about a year. Right. North Carolina had major depot for uniforms. They were very independent and took supplying their troops seriously. Didn't really adhere to the requirements set out by Davies' administration, says Tim. That's the thing. If I really wanted to go into it, I could kind of hunt down these depots and see what uniforms they use. Because, again, I don't know if they would favour butternuts more. I feel like maybe greys would favour more from them. I think I'm just going to favour grey anyway, because I want to. Thomas says we do 24 men per regiment regardless, but depleted units can't fire as much and can't take as many charges and are harder to rally. But our homebrew rules for the Irish are good for that. Yeah, nice, fair one. Like I said, I think, yeah, I know some rules out there will say like smaller units will then have depleted shooting and stuff like that, but obviously if you just want to see larger units on the table, then just there's no need to take bases off. I'm thinking about running smaller units when I try to do some games up in the loft, purely for space, so I can have more regiments on the table. Dot a few more blue trousers in there, and then I won't go ham with it. David said it's rather meticulous in not being biased. That's why it's still part of the exam to become an official guest. Oh, okay, fair play. Yeah, fair. I've not heard of it, but I'll have to have a look. Thomas, I must finish. Sorry, Tim says I have the same warlord troops. I just use a different officer. Yeah, no, that's a fair point. This officer is real smart looking. I really like the look of him. So, and again, like, I think I've painted my shooting infantry and advancing infantry or charging infantry in Union. So that's what I kind of wanted to do. These guys, Confederates. Can't have the Union getting all the new models. Thomas, yeah, I must finish distinguishing my group's rules and share them with the group. Yeah, definitely. If you want to share them, by all means, yeah. I'm sure we'll a few of us would appreciate that. Right, maybe one more. Let's do one more. I think this box set, when I opened them up originally, I had a broken model in there. I think I emailed Warlord and they sent out a replacement. But what I've done is with the broken guy who's missing an arm, and it was just missing. It wasn't broken. It was missing. So I sculpted a folded up bit like a bit of cloth folded up. Which, I mean, the guy's carrying a rifle musket, so I'm not sure what use having one arm would do. But I don't know. He's not going to go on the regiment basis, but I'll paint him up anyway. I think I used the officer for a Union Marine officer. They had knots too. Oh, nice. Nice, Tim. Yeah. Thomas says, I have a lot of special regiment brigade special rules for distinguished rules digitize, sorry. But not to the main rules. Still reading them off our original page from 3+ years ago. Coffee stains included. Nice. Well, when you get them digitally uploaded, mate, sure, we'd appreciate them if you fancy sharing them. Coddington is a starting point for anyone seriously wanting to know about the campaign, including the plan and the aftermath. Oh, Howard, yeah, so this is... Oh, Howard didn't have to fire a gun, though, did he? So he got away with it. This guy is on the front lines. Maybe he's just like the cook or something in the group that, you know, he's got one arm, but he's charging with his gun. I don't know. Maybe someone else is loading it for him. Right, so... Right, we're going to go into now. Grey? Chuck some greys in there. Or do we do... Runic grey? Let's do that. I do like this grey. Going to do the trousers, I think, for now, because the tops are going to be a bit more. They are sort of frock coats, but they're strapping and stuff, all of them. So I'm going to have to go in with a finer brush. So I don't really want to go in with a big brush and. I used to know a one-armed pool hustler. He took people's sympathy and then took their money. Right, we're going to go in with this ashen stone now, which I think's a lot lighter. I don't know, we'll see what it's like. Might be too light. No, it's about right. Probably similar to what's it called? Basilicanum grey. Probably similar to that, I'm guessing. Cool. Ah, all right. We're not speed running it, but we're also kind of speed running it. But we are using speed paints, so. For my favourite paint. This primer is all sort of grainy, which is a shame. It's making it all look a bit rubbish. Only on... I don't know what's happened. Don't know what's happened. Only on a few of them, actually. These guys seem alright. Right. Alright. Okay. So. I think I'm going to go in and just do some butternut now, whilst I've got that paint out. So we do a few butternut frock coats. See how we get on. Yeah, some of this primer's sort of gone grainy, which is a shame. I wonder if it was a bit wet or something when I primed. Hopefully it doesn't make a mess of things. Right. Do you know what? I was painting away and I thought I've not asked anyone what they're up to this weekend or this tonight. And with that, you guys have already done it, so I appreciate it. Thomas, what's everyone working on at the moment? Not sure if Matt asked. I had not asked, but I thought of it as you mentioned it. So, David, by the way, tonight I'm working on some posters, flyers, and handouts for Gaines Mill at Joy of 6 in June. I want some ready for the dress. I want some ready for the dress rehearsal I'm doing at Driffield Club in a few weeks. Nice, mate. It's going to be a good game, mate. I'm excited to hear how you get on with it. Mike Blake, welcome in. Welcome in. Come on in. Thomas, I'm cleaning up models for my Brigade Miniatures order. Ooh, nice. Yeah, so we're, for everyone new to the stream tonight, we're just working on these Confederates from Warlord games. I've not long started painting them, to be honest, so you haven't missed much. It's quite a lot, because these guys are wearing backpacks, quite a lot of strapping on their tops. On the top half. It's making it a bit awkward to paint. I would think about how I want to paint these backpacks as well. More Punic War, says Tim. I dislike scraping mold lines, but they paint up nicer. Yeah, it's something I never used to do, and wish I did, because yeah, it makes a big difference. Makes a big difference. Thomas working on on finishing the 52nd New York for Zook's Brigade at Chancellorsville. I'll have to paint some Dead Man's Hands buildings during the day. Oh, nice. What buildings do you paint up? Is it just sort of town ones? You know, like high street ones? I don't know what you'd call them. Generic cowboy buildings is probably the easiest way to say it. Mike says, I love Dead Man's Hands buildings. Dave said he's been too busy forgetting to ask what everyone's working on. Yeah, sorry. Sorry. I did do that. Got distracted, I think. Right. It's another. A miner's office and a saloon. Very nice, Thomas. Very nice. Bristol nightlife was the distraction. You're right, David. I was talking about my hometown and its distractions, I guess you could say. I'm not sure what's happened with this. Seems to be only on the front of them that they've gone all grainy. It's a shame, because it might ruin the middle models. Alright. Another guy there. Yeah, not sure how much butternut I want to do. I play around. Maybe I'll just jump into. Should do a few. You're lucky. Imagine the size of the grains on a 6mm figure. That's got grainy primer. Yeah, it'd almost be the entire figure. Yeah, it's a shame that it's done this, but I guess my options are just strip and redo it or power through, and I think we're going to try power through. Hope for the best. I've not had grainy figures for a long old time, so I must have done something wrong when priming, but I don't know what. Right, enough of that. Let's go grey. Actually, I spoke too soon. Let's give a couple of butternut keppies. Thinking whilst I've got the butternut out, just paint up a few like that. Yeah, let's get it on as well. All right. Onto the grey now, and we'll go a bit of silicanum. Where's there? Right. Okay. Some of these I can afford to just plaster it on because in general. Hmm. Alright, so we've gone for quite a dark grey. Just the normal grey I use for the uniforms, to be honest. So we'll just see. I think when we get all of the other colours on there, it might. Let's just start. Alright. Bit fiddly trying to avoid the strap in. Don't think I'm gonna. All right. Sort of getting there. So I quite like the grey, so we'll probably prioritise it a bit. Cool. The guy who hosts Armchair Dragoons and their live battles has a bell he rings when they have 20 people watching. Ever thought of stealing his idea? I've never seen that on his streams, to be honest. Have I thought of the idea? If I ever got 20 viewers, then maybe we'd have to. Maybe as a celebration, we can work something out. I don't quite know how you do that unless it's just a physical thing. You know, if he notices it, it's like, you know, it's not a scripted, programmed thing. It's just something if he notices, he can ding a bell. Yeah, absolutely, we can do it. Obviously, I think the best we've had is about 15 people at once, which is really cool. Hello, Blake, by the way. Hello, welcome in. So yeah, we definitely can do. Thomas says, I think Matt should run a game like Basement 1908 where viewers can vote on what enemy forces does. That's definitely something I want to do, Thomas. 100%, mate. Trying to figure out the logistics, but I really liked how Basement did that with that little campaign thing. That was really cool. Yeah, I am thinking of Basement, am I? Yeah. They did like a French Napoleonic campaign recently, didn't they? Where you could vote where the army moves. Pretty sure that was him. But yeah, hello Grim, welcome in. Sorry, I think I said that already, but yeah, if Jim sees it, he rings the bell. Okay, yeah, I'll have to look into it. We can do that. Maybe it can be a bugle call. All right, great. More great. We're working there. We're getting good numbers at the moment, to be honest. Yeah, it's just keeping it going. Word of mouth and stuff like that is an easy way of getting it about. I'm trying to do the videos as a bit of a heads up. We've got a stream coming, you know. But yeah, that's about it at the moment. And my Facebook one didn't work for some reason. It's still attempting to load. I don't know whether Facebook's maybe flagged it for copyright, and that's why it's not uploading. So that you might find the Facebook reel goes out tomorrow or something, which is a bit of a late one. No good for tonight's stream, but really early for next stream. But yeah, we can sound the charge if we get 20 people. That'd be good fun. How are you, Grim? Anyway, you good? Are you working on anything tonight? I forgot to ask everyone earlier, so I'm going to try and make a point of asking people. Blake, you are in as well, and Mike. I don't know if I asked you, but you guys working on anything currently? Obviously, feel free to chuck them in the Facebook page as well, because I've actually sorted out a way to view Facebook on the stream. So I had it all set up ready for tonight's stream, and then realised we haven't had any uploads since last stream, so it's been a bit in vain, but doesn't matter. It's ready for next time. It's ready for when we need it, which is important. Right, let's leave that. Okay. Grim, not tonight, as I still have to fix my army painted glue so I can build my French. That's fair enough. Fair enough. Can't have it all sometimes. I actually did some basing work, not last night, the night before. So like all the generals and stuff I painted up, started basing them ready. As well as the fire zouaves, they're all painted up. But all on their way to be based up, should I say. So. David said there's a guy from New Zealand who runs campaigns where viewers can decide every week next week's strategy. I think it's called Big Battles, Small Worlds. Okay. Yeah, I thought Basement did one where it's like an alternate Napoleonic campaign. It's a really cool. It was a really fun idea. Grim, you think there's an air bubble in it, so it's not coming out? Oh, that sucks. It's nothing worse when you're trying to do some hobbying and then something like that crops up, and then you're like, or you haven't got any more glue or something, so you kind of got to make that work. I don't have as such a problem these days, but back before my paint collection was so big, you know, you'd sit down and want to do something and you wouldn't have the paint, so you have to go buy it, and then you sit down and then find out you're missing, like, there's another paint you need. I can see why people just buy the 300 paint sets off the bat. It means you're always going to have what you want. Just scraping off mould lines off the Continental 3rd and 4th Light Dragoons. Nice. What manufacturer are they then? I assume Perry's, are they? Mike? David said he's done a few, including the Valley campaign, where Banks was his usual incompetent self. Thomas, there you go, Matt. I've just posted some odds and ends I've been working on over on Facebook. Nice. We'll I'll probably forget, but we'll try show the Facebook off before we finish tonight then, and I'll show off what you've been doing. We can have a look. Obviously, anyone else, feel free to post, and we can have a ganders together a bit later on. Already cleaned up to Napoleonic British light dragoons, mounted and dismounted. Also, the horse holders. Really love miniatures. Really lovely miniatures. Oh, nice. All brigade miniatures, mate. Had over 3 kilos of lead come over from the pond. It got caught by customs. Oh, I remember you saying. Yeah, I think we spoke about this, haven't you? Oh, that's a bit more of a pain being metal than lead, isn't it? Maybe metal, isn't it? Okay, he's wearing gloves, so. Right. Getting the officer painted. Shame these are a bit grainy in places. It might not be noticeable. I'm going to give him a blue collar, this officer, so make sure I don't paint that. I could give him a blue cappy, to be honest. Maybe I do, just to... Just because why not? Remember these arms being a bit tricky to glue on when I got them. They just don't quite line up with the bodies. Remember that being a bit of a pain. Right, I'm going to give him a grey cappy. Alright. Do that. Thomas says, just chucked a comment on each of the images on Facebook. Nice. Just from mine, just saying what they are. Very nice, Thomas. We'll check them out. We'll check them out. Davey said, just posted a brigade of French infantry for my current 1796 7 campaign in Italy. Oh, nice, mate. We'll have a look. Ugh. Thomas says, David, they look nice. Our group did consider 6mm, but our table's so large we would have massive battles even for 6mm scale. Imagine the potential of having a 6mm on a big table. The only decent pick I've got of any of the 12 brigades, I really must clean the camera lenses on my phone one day. One day, but not today, don't worry. Let's see, just have a quick look. The camera on your phone's rubbish. Right. Let me see if I can refresh it. There we go, everyone's turned up. Alright. Oh, you got Father William Corby as well. Thomas, that's nice. Is that the yeah, the Studio Story stuff? That's cool. I won't go. I'll stop looking because we can look together in a bit. 6 mil on a 16 by 4 foot table may be excessive, yeah. But just think of what you could do. Just think of what you could do. Entire army of the Potomac, full scale, exactly. You could do that. 6 mil only needs a 6 by 4 for all the biggest battles. 6 mil, yeah, fair play. But yeah, you could, on a big table, you could do some real big battles. Have a bit of fun with it. Mike said, just dropped a pic on the Facebook of the projects in the table mat. Oh, very nice. Very nice. Thank you very much. We'll take a look in a sec. Or in a sec. We'll give it another sort of 20 minutes and then we'll take a look at Facebook. I was feeling really tired, but actually, stream's flying along, so. Bit like anything, we'll get the base colours done on these guys and then it'll start speeding up a bit, but it's just getting all the base layers down. It can take ages. Cool. It's the wrong shape for Leipzig, 16 by 6. 6i4 easily holds Gettysburg at 6 mil. But you're using the David. You're using the sort of basing suggestions for Art of Freedom, aren't you? So I think there's only. I'm pretty sure there's only one of their battles where they suggest a larger table. I think all of them. Otherwise, they're all sort of 6 by 4s or under, aren't they? With Art of Freedom. I guess that's the nice thing with Art of Freedom. By having it using bases, you know, here's the recommended base size. Obviously, you can go whatever you want, but then I guess if you were doing 10 mil, 6 mil, 2 mil, if you're using the same base sizes, it doesn't actually matter. Then the scale of the battle's going to be the same. You know, if you wanted to use 15 mil in Art of Freedom, you can do, and you're still going to need only need a 6 by 4 for Gettysburg. Nifty like that. Thomas says, what unit are you going to do the Highlanders? To do the Highlanders had a distance relation in the 42nd during the AWI and a relation in the 92nd at Waterloo. Mike's going for 42nd. Very nice. David said, yes, using Art of Freedom. Blake says, I'll be working on 20th Main. They're coming out very nice. Yeah, how are you getting on with the 20th Main? Nice stuff. One thing I wish I did when I went to Edinburgh was go to the castle. We went to the castle, we didn't go in it. You know, we went and had a look around. Because they've got, obviously, the... What Highlanders are based out of that? Is it 92nd? Sort of, they have like an old museum there, don't they? Wish I went and saw it. Someone will remind me. I don't know whether I do the backpacks in black or maybe a brown, maybe. Thomas says my family is Scottish and Irish. Have been all over. Relations in the Civil War on the Irish side and relations in the Highlanders on the Scottish side. It's very cool. It is very cool family history. Yeah, Thomas. I don't think I've got any Irish or Scottish blood. I don't have the Western Theatre scenario book. All the Eastern Theatre battles are 6x4. I'll have a look. I'll have a look in a sec, David. I'll let you know. I might be wrong. I feel like it rings a bell. That's why I say it. Let me have a quick look then. So I've got it around. Oh, got it around here somewhere. My very useful. I basically got all the PDFs and just printed them. So it's just it's in like a plastic sheet thing, but each scenario's in there. Right, let's have a flip to the back. I've done them in chronological order, so oh, okay. Oh, unless I've only printed off one of them, maybe. Because yeah, you're right. I've just had a quick look, and it says all 6x4s, but I'm sure. I'm just wondering if I've only got one. I didn't print off the Western Theatre. Sorry, a bit like you, David. I've got it. I just don't think I've printed it off. I've got all the starter scenarios. Shiloh. Got. Here you go. Battle of Gainesmill. Is Fredericksburg classed as? It's got to be Western, hasn't it? Chancellorsville, Champion Hill, Wilderness, Gettysburg, Drew's Bluff, Spotsylvania, Battle of North Anna, Cold Harbour, Globe. Yeah, I must be missing a load. Well, there we go. I'll stand corrected then. Yeah, I think I've not got the Western book there. That's why. My grandfather is an Irish Yorkshireman who was born in Lancashire, but fought in the Welsh Fusiliers during World War One. Very interesting. I've not got a lot of military history in my family, to be honest. Which is yeah. For someone like me who's quite interested in the military stuff, I've not actually got a lot of my family. My wife's got so her granddad. I'm pretty sure he was in. I want to say. I think he was in the Grenadier Guards. In fact, I'm very sure he was, because I remember seeing it, the letter. I was just like, I couldn't believe it. Just never really spoke about it. But because I think this was during, he did like only a few years in it. I can't remember now. I'll have to find out. He's stationed over in Cyprus, I think. Don't know when that would have been though. I've had family in the army pretty much since 1745. Prior to that, we were Scottish side, were Jacobite, then served in the British Army. The Irish side, well, need I say they were rebels since 1500s. Thomas said, my great uncle was Lance Corporal in the 1st Airborne, killed in action leading an attack after D-Day, June 13th, from the top of my head. Oh, wow. Davey said, an uncle in World War II and a great grandfather in the Boer War, the Second Boer War. Everyone's got military history, but me. Can't believe it. And I know that because a few years back, my mum did our family tree. I want to say she might have had an uncle or something in World War... sorry, great uncle in World War One. But I don't know enough about it. There's a few more done. Yeah, I still normally collect the Germans when I play Bolt Action. Well, if you're collecting them for their MGs, I don't blame you. Just thought I haven't been painting any keppies, but they haven't got any keppies, so that's fine. Did you know Scotty James Doonan was a lieutenant who led his men on June? Yeah, I did hear about that. Yeah. Tom said I collected them because someone had to. All my mates had Americans, Russians, and British. Yeah, that's a fair point. It's kind of why sort of why I quite was drawn to Napoleonic French, because everyone else wants to collect British or something, don't they? So that's Juno Beach. Stupid machine autocorrect is done. Yeah, no, we got what you meant. Don't worry. These are looking real messy at the moment, but I think when I start putting in the web, like the straps and stuff, it will look a bit better. Yeah, I was the same, and because I love the Irish Legion uniform. Yeah, I don't know if I'll. I know they had the Irish Legion. I don't know. I haven't looked into them too much, to be honest. I assume they wore green, did they? Well, you know, facings or something like that. I hope to see the return of Warlord, Soldier of Fortune 007, Soldier of Misfortune, Union Stretch Party. And it's 2 years since it came out, so Warlord will Canberra get around again. I'm not quite sure what you're talking about, Thomas. If you find a picture, mate, send it. Is it what Warlord Games did a 28mm stretch party? Did they? David said, but they don't have bicorns. Everyone knows bicorns are the coolest military headgear. I mean, if I went, yeah. I mean, I'm very drawn to doing bicorn French, I must admit. Because yes, bicorns are very cool looking. I see it every couple of weeks on eBay for an arm and a leg. I don't know if I've come across that. I'm often on eBay, to be honest. I'll just chuck it on there and have a look around and see what's going for like American Civil War stuff. Because you never know. Some things come up every now and then. Like I picked up some camp followers sort of thing, or soldiers in camp, on eBay the other day, which was nice and cheap. I like it for just random stuff, you know, not necessarily just infantry, but picking up some models you wouldn't normally get. I want the ammo carriers too, says Tim. Oh yeah, David Thomas says, David, have you considered doing Humbert's French army in Ireland for 1798? Thomas says, bicorns included. I want another last shots the Union cavalry man. Oh yeah, I think I've seen that one. Is that like a last stand one? A bit like Union. Sorry, Custer's Last Stand. Is that model? I think, is he sort of down by a downed horse? Is that right? He's shooting from behind it. That's quite a cool model. Must admit. Mike says, both my granddads were born during World War II, but their dads were servicemen. One was in the Royal Navy in World War II. On D-Day, he was fixing landing craft. The other was in the BEF in World War One. Then a fireman in the Blitz. Another great granddad was the Home Guard. Yeah, I don't know what my grandparents are up to be honest. Well, all of mine are from Birmingham. That's where my family is actually from. So yeah, I don't know. I know my granddad worked on the railway during the war. So he got out of service somehow. Unfortunately, the French army of Italy in 1976 were dressed in rags and bicorns. Are they more the revolutionary? I don't know enough about that earlier period of the French. So I assume that was when is that Egypt 1796? Is that when they were on a holiday in Egypt? All right, I'm gonna end it there, and we'll go check out Facebook quickly. I've got one more strip to do, but my eyes are heavy. We're getting near the end. Oh, sorry, 1796 is Italy. Yeah, I know. Yeah, sorry. Thanks, Grim, but I know David's mentioned it before. Thomas says, yeah, I want one for my dead man's hand cavalry, and then one for a diorama dedicated for my grandfather who loved everything Western and cavalry. Yeah, it is a cool miniature, I must admit. That Warlord cavalry one is nice. Well, maybe pick one up. Mike says, but that's where the service, military service ends for your family. It's your granddad's. After that generation, no. Oh, so Grim, yeah. So Egypt is 1798 to 1801. I see. That'd be quite a good campaign to do, I think. Also, just having the who do they fight against? Is it Mamelukes? I know they were about. They'd be quite cool to do, having an army like that. I thought about doing a some sort of like Ottoman army, but that'd be cool. $1798 is also Ireland, yeah. The Mamelukes and the Ottomans, yeah. I thought about maybe doing a Ottoman just because I think it'd be quite enjoyable to paint up their uniforms. You know, like I don't even how you call it, just sort of quite interesting in the clothes. Right, let's switch over here. What? The only thing is we've lost our music now. We might be able to do something like that. Let me see what I can do. There was an Ottoman army in the event in the Derby in Derby a few weeks back. So when I'll do that. When I did the last Lardy Day, they had some Ottoman army there. It was really cool. Media, add existing media. There we go. Done. I wonder if it's working. Don't know. Well, you have to tell me if my mic's a little too loud now because I've just accidentally messed around with it. Right, so let's get back on with this. Right, okay, so everyone can see this, right? Everyone can see Facebook, please. Please work. Right, let's check these out. So this Thomas, couple of officers of the 37th New York Irish Rifles. Very nice. Wearing the red shirts as well, very nice, and a bit of ginger hair. That's a nice flavour, mate. Although you can't see that because my camera's in the way. Let me do this. I'll shrink my camera down. There you go. Yeah, nice little bit of orange. Nice. Nice work, Thomas. In fact, let me refresh it because I know you guys have been putting them in. Oh, there you go. Only available during February 2024. So when was... I mean, it looks nice. Must admit. What's everyone's thoughts on that? So is that what they've previewed on that Games Day video that one of you shared? Was it Tim? Was it Thomas? Anyway, yeah, that's nice. I don't mind that. Let's see what else we got. There you go, Mike. Look at that. 28mm naps. Left two blocks are the left two blocks are the light dragoons, mounted and dismounted. Central block is some heavy dragoons. With 4 commanders. Yeah. 2 right blocks of Spanish militia. Oh, yeah. I wonder why they had big hats. Very nice. Hang on, let's see. AWI British Army, mainly Highlanders. 2 units on the right are the Queen's Rangers. Back row are some Loyalist militia. Very nice. Yes, nice. I see what you're saying. That's quite a project, mate, to clean all them up. That's quite a lot of work. What we've got here, far left are militia, centre, so some militia, cav here, centre the 4th light, centre right are the 3rd light, and the far right are the Continentals in hunting shirts. Back row is 3 characters. And a lady on a horse. Nice, mate. No, they look nice. They look nice. Be nice to see them painted up. I don't know how rapid you are at painting, but no, they'll be nice. Have I said this? Thomas says Warlord Games said they'll only bring back them 2 years after the original release, so they had, and then you said no, they had more Zouaves in that video. Yeah, I just remember seeing some Zouave like little running, like these guys here. But that's cool. I just never remember seeing that out, to be honest. But well. Anyway, back to Thomas's. Oh no, we'll go to David. Here's David's French infantry. What do they call that type of flag, David? Mike says he paints like a slow pony. It's going to be a while then. That's all right. We can wait. We're patient. We've got plenty of streams. We can check in on you. Don't worry. Thomas has painted up Father William Corby of the 88th in New York. So this is Studio Historia sculpt. I don't think I've got one printed yet, but very nice, mate. Good work. Good work. And here's some more. 2 unit officers. Most proud of the one on the right. Yeah, nice. You've gone for the binocular sculpts as well. Nice. So that's the Confederate sculpts, and you've converted him. Is that right? That's nice. No, they look good, mate. Very good. And here we go, some more boys. 52nd New York Command, Seagulls, Rifles / German Rangers, what I'm currently painting. Nice. Yeah, I'm tempted by some Germans now. Tempted to do some Germans, 11th Corps. I think that'll be working on next. Officers of the 10th New York, very nice. Thomas. Officers of the 5th New York, very nice. That's it. Do you know, like I find, not I guess not frustrating, but you found like with a lot of the Zouave regiments, the officers tended to wear the same stuff, like between the regiments. So the Zouave uniforms would be different, but then you quite often find that the officers would just wear sort of blue frock coats and red trousers or something like that. It's nice to have something a little bit different. Here we go. Some officers from the Stonewall Brigade. Oh, play me. I do like that head. That's the head that comes with the Battle in the Box mounted commander, isn't it? I do like that head. Nice beard on him. I call it the Stonewall head. It just, I don't know, he's got a well-groomed beard. A bit like, oh, I can't think of the actor's name. The guy who plays Stonewall in Gods and Generals. Oh, I almost had his name then. It almost came to me. But he's got a very well-groomed beard in that one. So, yeah. Stephen Lang. Thank you very much, Thomas. Yeah, so I went to build one up as a Stonewall, but I ended up getting I think it's First Corps Stonewall Jackson, who I really like. So, yeah, my ended up just being a generic officer, but very nice. Oh, is this the... Ah, this is the Cavalryman. Yeah, Cavalry Mini that I ran a test wash over. Still not a fan of washes. Which wash did you go for? Yeah, washes are... There's something to get used to, I must admit. I've only really used... My favourite wash is a Citadel. I don't know if that's what you're using. But I've seen other washes out there, and I'm just, yeah, not a massive fan. But yeah, Thomas says, yeah, it was Confederate officer, convert to Union. Sorry, I'm tired. David says, not sure about the flag related to a 6mm French. I think it was used by revolutionary armies of France. I'll have to ask Peter Berry at Bacchus. Yeah. No, it looks nice though, mate. Strong tone, maybe too dark for what I'm working on Army Painter. If I'm perfectly honest, I'm not a fan of Army Painter washes from what I've used. So it might be, if you're not quite happy with it, then maybe try a different wash. You might find a different manufacturer. Like I use Citadel, and I like Citadel stuff, so maybe you might have a different result with a different company. Just, yeah, I don't know, just see how you get on, mate. Just give it a try. Right, anyway, Thomas, this is a sergeant of the 52nd New York Infantry kit bashed using an arm from the Napoleonic Spanish sprue from Perry to have him carrying his greatcoat. Ooh, that's nice. Ooh, cool. I'll have to see what that sprue's like then. That's cool though, having a coat on the gun. That's nice. And here they all are. I should have been liking these, sorry. Should have been liking them. Right, let's just refresh this again. Washers are the key to detail at 6mm. Yeah, I agree, David. You're right. Tom says, I was gifted a paint bundle when it was included. Yeah, fair enough, mate. But yeah, if you want to give washers a go, I think I would recommend obviously, there's others out there, but I'm just going off what I've used. I wasn't a massive fan of Army Painter washers. I just didn't. I tried to use them and didn't like them. Yeah, Perry Partisans are great for adding to other kits. Oh, I might have a look at it then, Grim. Have a check them out. Let's see what Mike's on. Like, oh, they're nice. Is this Brigade miniatures? If so, they look crisp. They look very nice. Very well painted as well, mate. Yeah, they got some nice details on them. David says, I tend to water my paint down to make my washes. So you kind of make your own washes. Yeah, nice. Again, if you're going for something, I guess if you're going for something specific that you can't get on the market, then yeah, you have a go yourself. Thomas says, my first real wander into washers. Yeah, washers are certainly although now I'm using contrast, I'm not using them a lot anymore. But back when I was doing my previous stuff, I would use it. Yeah, washers religiously. It's just a way of just adding a bit of depth. I think, yeah, you can add just a bit of depth to a miniature without adding a load of steps into painting. So, and I find if you if you're painting a load of layers on a model and then hit it with a wash, it can just kind of tie it all in, I find. That's what I was doing, like with my Confederates, for example. I might like hit them all with a brown wash, and yeah, it just kind of ties it all in together. But it's just something you just got to play with it. And if it works for you, it works. If it doesn't, then carry on with how you've been painting before, isn't it? Yeah, they're very nice sculpts there, Mike. I see why you've waited and hassled that long for it. Put up another few examples of kit bashes from Perry / Gorilla. Oh, let's have a look, Thomas. Where are they? I have to refresh again. It might not have worked. I need to change my picture because this is a very old one here. But yes, very good though. Everyone's been busy bees, which is great. Just going up now, says Thomas. Nice. Yeah. So I said all I've been doing in the past week is just you're not really going to be able to. Oh no, you can actually. Let me just go onto this. Let's just go here a sec. So there you go. So I've got the fire zouaves here, and then the commands that I've just started basing. So I put all the mud on. Then I'm going to do the grass and the little tufts bits, and yeah, and then they're basically done. Really, it's just trying to not leave stuff half finished. Just trying to get it all rattled through ASAP. But yeah, here you go. Some examples of Thomas's stuff. So yeah, he's got like a little poncho thing. Yeah, that's nice. The upside down rifle. That's really nice. I quite liked that. I did something similar where I was trying to use it for from the American War of Independence box set from Perry's. So I bought them to try kit bash with some Confederate stuff, but it didn't quite work, to be honest, because they're also the rifle arm is with the Perrys, they're marching with their rifle on the right hand arm, whereas I think in the American War of Independence on their left arm. So yeah, but they had ones where they'd hold them by the muzzle and then have the butt hanging over their shoulder, and I thought that was a really cool look. Yeah, so basically like this chap here. I think that's quite a cool pose. David says, especially when the colour is nice and dark, I've been known to use the water from my normal dip and clean water as a cup as a wash. Yeah, it could work. Definitely could work. Tom says, Union Soldier, I'm not sure I want another great coat or a blanket. That's cool though. It's that's just a bit of flavour. Yeah, no, it's a nice nice way to do it, mate. Yeah, I'm gonna have a look at it and just see if I can have a play with any of it, because yeah, adds a bit of flavour. Tim says, my painting has evolved from layers to contrast and now to glazing. I'm not so clued up on glazing, to be honest. Not so clued up on it. Is that a bit like contrast? So yeah, we're anyway. We're getting near the end of it, so we'll round off where we're at. But yeah, I've got one more base to do on the greys. Watered down layer paints is what glazing is. I see. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, I'll chuck some grey on these guys next time, and then it's just the. In fact, I'm going to quickly do this guy's cappy, and then yeah, it's doing probably then all onto the black belts and stuff, and I'll probably go for black belts on these guys rather than some of the browns that I've been doing, but I've got all the boots and stuff to do as well. So yeah, but I mean it'll. It will look nice. Again, I think once I start doing those things, it will start bringing them to life a bit. Perhaps. It's just quite fiddly. It's quite detailed. So it's just trying to make sure I do a good enough job. But we'll get there. We'll get there. And then that'll be another unit done. I've got to base up some of my Studio Storia stuff, and then yeah, we'll get there. And then figure out, we'll have to get a model for Pettigrew as well, because we haven't actually got him. David says you may have noticed gravel from an actual building site on my basing. Oh, it's like that, is it? Let me have a look. Oh yeah, it's just like Devil's Den, but even though they're 1796 French. Tim says light primer, wash with Agrax or similar, drag over white to complete the model, then apply contrast for the skin and glazing for the uniform. Yeah, I started doing that to a certain extent with some of my fantasy stuff, where I would I sprayed white and then I washed it with sort of a mix of like almost like a sepia, and then dry brushed it again. Maybe I should have done it a darker wash, but yeah, it just adds, again, you kind of yeah, it's a bit like contrast but before contrast, because you can add depth, and then so then you glaze over the top, and I guess you keep that depth. Is that right? Yeah. So yeah, I did it with a sepia. I don't know how it worked out really. I painted it, and I don't know. But yeah, we learn every day. So yeah, well, I'm going to end the stream there because we're about at 10 o'clock now. But I appreciate everyone popping by. As I said, we've started a new little series of these infantry, the 11th North Carolina, part of Pettigrew's brigade at Gettysburg. And hopefully we'll be, once these guys are done, hopefully by then I would have picked up the 26th North Carolina as well. And we can look at painting them on stream, perhaps. So yeah, we'll see how these goes. I think maybe we've probably got 4 streams in us, or these guys, 4 or 5, because it's surprising how slow I can go sometimes. So yeah, I'll be on these for a little bit. And then, yeah, then we'll see where we go. So, everyone watching this live, thank you very much. We've had, who have we had? Mark. Let's go all the way back to the start, because I don't want to miss anyone. Thomas, Mark, David, Soraya, Tim, Mike, Blake. I think we've had Blake in yet. Grim. And I don't want to miss anyone. Just shout at me if I've missed anyone. But yes. So, thank you all for watching this live, everybody. And everyone watching back on YouTube, thank you very much. Again, if you're interested, it should all be in the playlists if you want to catch what we've looked at previously and done previously. Like I said, for the short time, it's going to be painting up these infantry, and then we'll put it to you and see where we want to go next. So, thank you very much, everybody. Appreciate everyone putting stuff on Facebook as well. That's great. So yeah, just chuck stuff on Facebook. If you want to show it off, and we can go through it at the end of every stream, make a little habit of it. So yeah, thank you very much. Have a good rest of your Sunday and have a good week going forward. And I will see you next Sunday and we'll carry on. So good night, everybody. Good night.